I always try to lead with something great, right out of the chute. And once in a while,
that's about 50%.
Once in a while, Chris Demm, he blunts me. Today, I had this great piece, got a little shampoo hack.
Oh, God.
Yeah, a great piece on hacks and how we've been washing our hair wrong for so many years. And somebody put up on TikTok, a hairdresser said, this is the way you should wash your hair. So I had it penciled in, block A, of course.
How many minutes did you budget for shampoo hack?
15 minutes on shampoo hack.
Probably get a solid 15 out of shampoo.
I thought, it was all over the place. There's a shampoo hack where you can wash your hair better, make sure it's cleaner, spend extra time on it. And then the ABC News crew, World News Now overnight, they did their few minutes on it. And in the middle of it, let me get this quote right. Chris Demm said, not knowing that it was block A, what an utter waste of time. What kind of broadcaster would spend 1 second on this tripe? Tripe was the word. He likes tripe sometimes.
I do like using that word. I find it cuts through.
What? Let me go again. What an utter waste of time. What kind of broadcaster worth his salt would spend 1 second on this?
They had 3 anchors do 10 minutes on shampooing because of the 20-second TikTok video.
Correct. One guy even had his hair up in a whatever, tied
like
up
a towel turban.
in a towel turban. Exactly. So I quietly pushed that to the side.
Yeah.
I said, we're not going to get into the hack of the hair dressing and how you can make your shampooing a better experience. I spend 90 seconds shampooing my hair, if that. It is so quick and done. I didn't even know there was much more you could do to it.
If you have longer hair, obviously that's different. No one in this room has long hair.
No.
So it shouldn't take more than 2 minutes tops.
I was going to say, I didn't know that was something that needed a hack, frankly.
Well, when you get your hair washed by a stylist, they do get their fingers.
There's more of a scalp massage.
Yeah.
That's usually part of the service.
I think that might be what
I like.
I do too. That's not. Sometimes they put something on there that feels real tingly, which I really like also. It's like a mint, or I don't know, it smells different and give it tingly. I mean, when you really go down deep, but I don't usually pay for the service.
No.
Sometimes if my stylist says you want to get washed, I usually say no.
No, you just cut it for me.
You just cut it dry.
Yeah, many times. Sometimes he'll do it, and sometimes he won't. But I'll take it dry. And then this is about services as well. I go see this guy Landon at Stretch Zone once a week.
Yeah.
Really enjoying that. He stretches me out, and they have a team in there. Like yesterday, I was there for 35 or 40 minutes, and here's another thing Chris Demm doesn't know. A commercial came on TV for Stretch Zone 20 minutes ago, and I said, "Oh, there's Stretch Zone, whatever, Well, Chris Demm's like, "Do you see Landon on there?" And I said, "No, I think they actually shot that at a different location. I don't see him. I look for him." And so Chris Demm, unbeknownst to me, left the room. And I started prattling on about Landon. I was like,
"Oh yeah, I was gone."
Chris Demm left. He's left. And I said, Landon yesterday did a new thing where he was doing my quads, so I had to get in a different position, and he was on this and on that.
Yeah,
I
wasn't there.
I kept talking. There was no response. There was no response at all. And I just kept saying, Landon, I think you could use Landon maybe for your lats and this and that, and nothing. And so finally I turned around and he wasn't there. Do you know how foolish you feel? Do you know how silly you feel? Just talking to yourself, thinking somebody else is there, making all these great points about getting your body stretched.
Right.
I think as you get older, it really could help you a lot.
I kept telling him, I kept saying, if you really want to get that spine right, if you really want to get your back right, and I was like, boy, he must not be interested in Landon at all, because I kept going on and he wasn't there.
Again, and there's no cameras in the office, obviously, but our desks do not face one another.
That's right. They don't.
They face away.
Away. So I'm just talking away. Just
I don't. I have nothing good or bad to say about Stretch Zone. What I think Biggie and I can certainly endorse is the fact that when you started going there, you were 6'5".
Now I'm 6'7". That's true.
That's very true.
Is that incredible or what?
I mean, you had a mighty slouch.
Oh, yes.
But look at you now.
Look at me. That's
you
right.
You were measured a week ago at your doctor.
What a difference.
Straightened you right up.
I've only gone like 4 or 5 times too, and only once a week. And that is true. I have told people all my life I'm 6'5". They measured me a week ago at the doctor's office, and I'm 6'7". I have to credit Landon. I should have told him that yesterday. I should have said I'm taller.
Yeah.
They have, this is embarrassing too. They have tables, that you lay down on at
Like a massage table size?
Almost exact. Yes, exact size. And Landon said, we have to move over like a card table to put your
the excess
your feet on. That is so embarrassing. When you're that big. Somebody emailed me the other day that was 6'8". He said, I go to the same thing. I clocked my head on a ceiling fan at a funeral one year and knocked myself out. At a funeral. That's got to be embarrassing too.
Yeah.
When you're that big, when you're that tall, that they have to bring in the special card table to lay your feet out on. I feel bad for him, That's basically how it turns out. But to sit and talk to somebody who's not there, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I thought you were doing what my son the other night, I mentioned this yesterday at dinner. Apparently what he does when I'm talking, period, is mutter under his breath so only his sister can hear him. Nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares. So I thought maybe you were doing the same thing while I was talking. That nobody, because that is what people...
I didn't even care enough to hear it.
No, and he hasn't heard it.
I left the room.
He still hasn't heard it, exactly. I did do another thing I talked about yesterday. We turned the heat on last night. I was ready to go through the next month with no heat at the house. And I thought this is our game. I wanted to play this. And my wife, now that she's always hot, we argue over it in the summer. She wants the air conditioner lower. I'm always looking to save $1. And so I thought, let's go as long as we possibly can. But all the children were huddled up under Afghans last night. It was down to 65 in the house. And so my wife said, I'm going to turn on the heat. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. We argued over that a little. And she goes, well, I think it's time. Even I'm cold, she said. And I said, okay. And she said she never used to sometimes she'd go to relatives' house when she was young and the house would be cold. And she knew, it's somebody cheap trying to save $1 here. But it goes a ways. And my son, always, I have become my father because my son is always messing with the thermostat.
Tinkering with it.
God, you talk about getting on.
Because he walks around in shorts and bare feet or just socks.
He's
a t-shirt.
Always in shorts and a t-shirt. Nothing
Maybe
else.
A hoodie, right?
Occasionally. Usually shorts and a t-shirt.
Well, and also at that age, you don't understand
money
or really anything.
That's right.
You just keep, and you don't know how much to change. You don't realize that 1 degree is going to cut it on.
Thank you.
So you just start, he's a teenager, so you just start mashing it. You're like, what is this? Come on, move.
It goes up to 85? We could be...
Yeah, but if you tell them...
Swoosh.
Yeah, it's like all you do is you want to take the chill off, so you just bump it up 1, which causes it to come on.
Come on.
But instead, it's like, ooh, go up.
I need but I've explained money.
Yeah, it's over his head.
He came in last night with all these groceries. He just ran out to the store and he came in.
Grocery store?
Oh, he does that a lot. He'll just go out. He's like,
is that where he gets his ramen?
Yeah, his ramen, his Cheez-Its, potato chips. What needed some things for school, et cetera, et cetera. Well, here's another one. His mother had told him to get some steam fresh frozen peas while he was at the store. I didn't realize he had gone. He came walking back in. He had 2 bags full. I was like, there's $40 right out the,
The only thing missing is you looking up from your paper angrily.
I swear.
You don't read a paper.
But I had basically dozed off. But when I came to, I said, well, here's another 40 walking in the door. He had 2 bags of stuff. God. And she said, put all those groceries away. Now, that's what, you get the groceries, but you have to put them all away. And he said, okay. Well, 3 hours later, we find frozen peas sitting there on the counter. Peas and broccoli sitting there, steam fresh. And I brought him back and I said, there's $6. That's $6.
Oh, one thing we talked about
the one thing you're supposed to put in the freezer, and he doesn't do it. I'm telling you. Teenagers.
Where did he get the money to go to the store? Is that from Mom?
He has a card. He has a credit card that he just uses. And we keep track of it, but he was allowed, I guess. I didn't allow him, but he was allowed to go because he needs some things for his lunch. He's always wanting to eat at school.
I see we've hit a contentious point.
Yeah, he likes to.
Just think of his memories he's going to have of you when he's your age.
Yes. Me, angry.
Half asleep.
He's trying to eat.
He'd wake up and yell at me because Mom would say, yell at me.
That's exactly right. And I was angered yesterday by this.
And as expensive as things are right now, I mean, that $40 isn't getting him. He's going to be using that card again in 2 more days for lunch.
That's the thing. He's like, he'll say, I need a few snacks for school. So, well, how fast are you going through these snacks? And
he's
he
a teenager.
does.
He's going through them quickly.
Yeah, he does go through them quickly. And then I put out a delicious salmon and nothing. Nothing.
I see you're still a, what is it, pescatarian?
It's not easy.
I keep wanting to call you a paleontologist for some reason.
It's not easy to be either. I don't think it's easy. I know it's not easy to be a pescatarian. I've not tried paleontologist yet, but it's not easy to be a pescatarian or a Presbyterian. I've tried both of those things.
Yeah, you have.
It's not easy to stick with.
I'm always shocked how many people believe you when you do this stuff.
And send emails to Biggie and me and Dave.
Yeah, it was like, here's,
Tell Kelly he can eat this.
yeah, here's 28 great fish recipes. Like, I'm not for it. So what are you buying into this for?
I'm one day in, and I did beautifully yesterday. But let me tell you, it's not easy to do that. You've got to. I had yesterday a tuna poke from over at the $12 salad store. Mm-hmm. Some say poke. I
think you're supposed to call it poke.
No, I like poke better.
Well, I said to the young lady behind the counter, give me a tuna poke with fire. And she said, poke? And I said,
exactly.
Whatever.
No, the whole thing.
That's really the only thing they had with a fish option. But I did it, and it was pretty good. And then later at home, I had to thaw out my wahoo that my wife had gotten for me. That's a meaty fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
A wahoo, yeah. That might be a little beyond me.
Yeah.
Somebody had emailed a P1 said, if you're going to take this pescatarian thing seriously, get you some mahi-mahi and some wahoo. Man of your stature should have that. But I didn't like the wahoo's okay. It was, I don't love it.
You throw it on the grill.
That's what I should do next time. This time I just baked it.
The grilled fish is good.
Well, yeah, I do.
I'm not good at grilling fish, though.
You mean
that's a challenge?
That's harder to do.
It is the hardest thing to grill.
Yeah, it is.
I tried to lie and impress a young lady one time because she wanted to grill fish, and I said, "Oh, absolutely." And I mean, it was just miserable.
It's charred on the outside and raw in the middle. Sometimes when I do it, and our grill it's that knockoff Big Green Egg,
right?
So it's not as easy as just turning on the gas burner. You have to load it with charcoal.
That's right. You're no more gas in the house, or no more gas grill.
No gas grill. It's a gas. I mean, it's a charcoal grill, so it takes some effort. As we grill every week or two during the summer, but now it's like you can't just fire it up. I almost wish I had a gas grill, either to go along with or to replace the Big Green Egg. I might be in the grill business again.
Uh-oh.
You know how that goes. You know what happens when
was the last one everyone was telling you to get with the pellets or the
Traeger?
The
Traeger.
Traeger, that's it.
I was dangerously close to a Traeger, and then
about a year ago,
couple of years, and I just decided no, I'm going to save that money and keep the Big Green Egg knockoff, the big block avocado, and I have used it more. But it's just a lot to do, to pour in the charcoal.
I'll tell you, if you're really gonna grill fish, get yourself a gas grill and one of those fish baskets. You see those?
Yes, those are
you
good.
need the right tools.
Yeah, just go ahead if you're really gonna get rid of the Big Green Egg and go gas.
Or even take both. You could get a small gas grill.
Yeah, gas grills are not that expensive in the big scheme,
right?
If you get a decent one,
it's a fair gas grill from a big box store or whatever. It's not going to be hard.
Unless it's on a ship out there in Long Beach.
That's another thing. I mean, now, as you just said, prices of everything are up. You can get you a basket, do the fish and the vegetables all in once. I'm pescatarian. I'm looking into these. That's what I do. I look into these things. Yesterday at this time, we were talking about the bear that broke into a home, and an 80-year-old man fought it off and continued to punch it in the nose. Even though, as Chris Demm suggested, he could have just gone back upstairs. But he didn't, and blood was everywhere. He fought the thing. Now, a bear has broken into a California home because they left Kentucky Fried Chicken out on the stove, and the bear smelled it and came in through the back porch. They had eaten a bucket of chicken, and there were 2 or 3 pieces left, and the bear smelled it. And so they came around the corner, the housewife, and saw a bear standing at her stove with his nose in the Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket. Now, she took the opposite tact of the 80-year-old. She backed away from it and called 911 immediately. Another bear was outside ready to come in and take the chicken, too. That KFC, man. That KFC and their commercials make that chicken sandwich look better than any other chicken sandwich.
Yeah, whoever is the
Don't you think?
Cinematographer, director of photography deserves a Peabody.
Do you think that piece of chicken is a real piece of chicken, or is it just doctored to look like it? It's so big and so much overhang. It looks fantastic.
It might not even be chicken.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I never know.
I know.
Because they do such a good job.
Biggie tried the KFC chicken and said it was just okay.
Yeah. But by far, you're right. When you see the commercial, it looks
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, when I see it, I want that. And then the bottom has, like, you can see the mayonnaise and the pickles hanging over the side, and I think that is going to be a great chicken sandwich.
Yeah, and they move it toward the camera like it's your mouth.
Yes. And then there's one, I just saw this for the first time last night. They look at every angle of the chicken sandwich and say, which will be the first bite. That's their thing. It's like, is this a better first bite? Which I also thought was good advertising. You know, which is best to bite into first.
I used to get in trouble as a young child for that.
For trying to figure out.
My father would yell at me because I'd pick up a sandwich and he'd watch me just stare at it. And he'd be like, just take a bite. But I was doing that. I was measuring where the first bite would be because, especially with like a chicken sandwich, you know, if there's a real bready part, I want to go ahead and bite there first and get that out of the way.
Me too, brother. I love that.
That way you have an overhang at the end.
Eat into it.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I was often yelled at as a child for staring at my food.
Well, I'm with you.
Well, you made up for it.
You know, I tell you what I like to do too. I like to eat like all around the edges of sandwiches and then have that nice piece in the middle at the end.
Oh, yeah.
The heart of it right at the end where everything. Oh, yeah. Do you know?
Now it's going to be a grouper sandwich.
That's all I can have.
Yeah.
All I can have is a
I'll
grouper
tell you
sandwich.
though, I do
A lot
judge
of Filet-O-Fish.
if I'm out to like lunch with somebody and I see them and they don't look at their sandwich and they just take a bite. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Amateurs. It's amateur hour up in here. You're
What are
right.
you doing?
You're totally right.
You
on
just
this.
eat it that way because that's how the server put it in front of you?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
This is America.
You're wasting your opportunity here. You got to, like, Biggie is right. You got to look at that thing. I just read that 80% of people have a go-to sandwich, like the one they like most.
To make or to get when they're out?
To get when they're out. And do you know what overwhelmingly it is, by the way? It's
BLT?
Steak and cheese was the number one, like a Philly steak and cheese.
It's a good sandwich.
It is good.
Yeah, I'm opposite. I like I just like, sometimes I'll just get a plain turkey sub.
Yes.
I like a turkey and provolone. I just like that.
Better than a steak and cheese.
Yeah, I have to be in the mood for a steak and cheese. That's a hearty sub.
I get a big kahuna over at Jersey Mike's. That's
Big kahuna.
That's a pretty good sandwich. That's their steak and cheese.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll go chicken kahuna.
What you going to do now?
I know fish kahuna.
Oh, you're going to be the guy getting the tuna fish. Where it'll be everyone will look around confused who's working
Tuna
there.
sub. Hang on. They got to go to the back to get the tub.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, they go to the back.
That's right. The tuna kahuna.
That's
what
the tuna kahuna.
I get the katuna is what I
I
know.
briefly worked in a sandwich shop when I was a teenager, and anytime somebody got the tuna, it was like, hold on, where is it? You got to dig to the back of the little cooler.
Yes.
And then you got to check the date, and then you have to
You better check the day.
check the date, and then you smell it. Because
Where's
you're
the
like,
scooper?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The ice cream
The tuna
scooper.
scooper that looks like an ice cream scooper.
Gross. It's terrible.
And frankly, it was always some middle-aged woman who was clearly trying some plan she saw.
Pescetarian.
She's reducing.
We're pescatarians. It's Pescetarian Nation.
Yeah.
One more thing we talked about. This was last week on a Fact or Crap. We asked about the world's smallest park. In a Tough Ass Trivia. Where is it? It's in Portland. And it is it is 2 feet wide by 2 feet. It's a little circle that people come from far and wide, I guess. It's known as a park. It's an actual park. They're moving it 6 inches, putting a sidewalk through. So
So the 2 foot park is moving 6 inches.
It's moving over 6 inches. They're drawing a new circle and moving it over 6 inches because they're widening the road wherever it is, putting in a new sidewalk, and they've said, you got to move this.
Okay.
I think it'll get even more people to come out and see it, you know. It's at the Better NATO Forever project, adding sidewalks and bikeways to the NATO Parkway, which is exactly where it is in Portland, Oregon. That's something I
don't think we saw it. We were there 10 years ago.
I was going to say, if I'm ever in Portland, I'll probably go over and at least try to find this tiniest part so you can stand in the middle of it. It's 2 feet.
Get a quick pick.
You're the only, I bet people line up just to stand.
I'm sure they do.
In it because it's becoming a thing, you know. But I don't know that I'll ever get to Portland.
No, you won't.
It requires flying and
There's nothing there for you.
A lot of fish.
aha!